From fitness to function, we're going from the cheapest to the most expensive. There'll be links and hopefully some discounts below for everything I mentioned in this video, starting with number 1. At $265, the F97 mechanical keyboard from IQUINIX has quickly become my favorite mechanical keyboard. It's now replaced my Logitech MX Master keyboard for day-to-day use. This one is the RGB version of the Variable X design with TTC gold pink switches, and it just makes typing everything feels so satisfying. It has several backlighting options that makes your desk just look really great in the dark. I, for one, have come to love everything about this keyboard. The form factor, the looks, the design, the materials they've used to build it with the ABS keycaps, and being a mechanical keyboard, it is fully customizable from the different types of switches to the keycaps themselves. There's also a 4000 mAh battery that lasts up to 260 days in their low power consumption mode. Though with daily usage, with Bluetooth enabled and with the LED lights on max brightness, I'm getting around about a week before I need to charge it up again, which you can do with the included braided USB to USB-C cable. It is compatible with both Mac and Windows, with keycaps that you can swap out to suit, and a toggle that changes the keyboard layout to work on both sides of the fence. I've been using this for the last 4 or 5 months or so, and I get why people love mechanical keyboards so much. The keys are just so responsive, and I love it, and it's solidified like a permanent residence on my desk. So if you are someone who regularly works at a computer, I would recommend the F97 mechanical keyboard from IQUINIX, if that's how you say their name, without a single hesitation. At £250 now are the Twinkly Squares, and I was so excited when I saw the news that these had launched. Now, we've all seen like wall-mounted light panels before, but these are different in that you retain complete control over every single one of the 384, yes, 384 LEDs. And this is done simply by using the app to scan in the panels once you've mounted them in your desired place. And once you do, a whole world of possibilities gets opened up to you. I've been waiting to make a video about these specifically because I just wanted to buy more of them to show you what they're capable of, but they've been so hard to get hold of since release that I just haven't been able to. Each panel of their squares gives you 64 controllable LEDs, and you get 6 of them in the starter pack, which, if my high school maths serves me well, makes up the 384 I mentioned a moment ago. Create a shape on your wall and have some patterns running over it, or even paint pictures, display NFT artwork, or even draw on it using the app. Your options are, well, endless. The only constraint that I found with these panels, and why I actually wanted to buy more, is that I wish the LEDs were a bit smaller and then there were more of them so you can get more definition in the images or the patterns you want to display. But the sheer fact that they are user controllable means you can hook them up as part of a gaming setup and trigger things like when events happen on your stream or in a game, or you can just use them to display some wall art or just enhance the vibe of your room with matching colors. It's the kind of cosmetic purchase that really transforms like a home office or a man cave to another level. They're also compatible with Razer Chroma and Omen Light Studio to sync to your gameplay, and they can dance to music. They're compatible with all the usual kind of voice assistants, so for me they just go really, really well with all my smart home gadgets. You can also buy extension kits if you can get hold of them, and go to a total of 16 panels, but I'm just going to wait and buy some more before I wall mount them so I can just put together something that really, really does look good. At £264 now, we have the Whoop 4.0, a fitness tracker that's essentially a simple band that you pretty much wear 24/7. I've been getting more into tracking this year, and the Whoop has been an interesting one. Firstly, you get this small tracker puck, which you can wear in multiple ways. Either use the included band around your wrist or around your arm, or they actually make clothes where you can subtly attach the sensor. They've got things like t-shirts, shorts, like pants, underwear, which means that the strap doesn't then get in the way of whatever activity you're doing at the time. Now, the Whoop tracks all of the usual things that you would expect, but a few areas where it stands out are the habits tracking, which is where it asks you every single morning what you did yesterday. Now, if you took any vitamins or supplements, whether you used a screen in bed, whether you ate meat, it puts all of that information together, and it gives you a pretty detailed report at the end of each month to show you what those decisions are actually doing to your overall health. Now, the Whoop also works as an alarm clock in the morning, which is excellent, as sleep is really something I'm trying to work on right now. I'm pretty awful at it. I don't get enough of it. I feel tired every single day. So the Whoop will vibrate on your wrist silently, which means it can wake you up without waking up your partner, and it can wake you up at either a fixed time or catch you at the best time in your sleep stages. Now, I've also been using it at the gym recently by using the app on the phone to track how much strain I add each day. It stops me from going over the top at the gym and pushes me harder if it senses that I'm not putting enough strain in on that session. And it also displays my average heart rate, which checks the box for my Vitality health insurance. Now, if you're in the UK, there'll be a link down below to get £100 cash back for that, which also then gives you a ton of discounts on tech, like a free Apple Watch, Amazon Prime membership, cinema tickets, and just a ton more stuff. Now, battery life on the Whoop is about 4 or 5 days or so, and there is a charging puck, which I've just done on mine to charge it, which you can slide on top to then charge your Whoop, and that means you never have to take it off. And I find that works really, really well as well. The band and the charging puck are both waterproof, so you can basically swim and do anything you want without worrying about damaging them. The next is another fitness one, the Oura ring, at $349. I've been using their Heritage ring for the past year or so, which has been so helpful. Now, I bought this mainly for sleep tracking, and whilst it can't wake you up, it still tracks all your vital stats throughout the day. The battery lasts about 5 days, and it is more stylish, I feel, than the Whoop strap. It's less intrusive, and it's just like, you know, any other piece of jewelry that you might wear. You can buy one in silver, gold, black, stealth black, which is what I've got here, and their new rose gold color. And when you order, they're going to send you out a sizing kit to help you choose the correct size for you. Now, this thing is clever. It's really clever. Inside the ring are a bunch of sensors which keep track of all your vital statistics, and it's been great to track my sleep for the last year. Like, every single morning, I look at my sleep score, and I just want to improve it. I've recently had a few scores in the 80s and upwards, which I'm super proud of. But otherwise, the other thing that this has been perfect for is actually knowing when I'm sick. Now, the ring tracks your average body temperature, and then it shows you in the app if it's above or below its normal temperature. And as you can see here in the app, this is where I was sick. And because of the ring, I could actually tell a day or two before, when I was starting to feel a little bit like off, that, you know, oh, my temperature is up. So I should take it a bit easy and make sure I'm taking supplements to help, you know, fight off whatever it was that I was suffering from. I ended up calling the doctors once, and I could actually give them the stats from my ring to help them assess what was going on. And that insight is a fascinating use case for like how technology can actually help improve our lives. Now, once you've purchased the ring, there is a fee of around about $5 per month, which unlocks some more features. I actually do subscribe every month, and I feel that that's worth it. But even without those stats, what you get out of the ring is still really valuable. Now, if you already wear jewelry or you're interested in having a tiny fitness sensor on you, then the Oura ring is a great option. Now, next up, being slightly more expensive than the Oura ring at £318 is the Insta 360 Link. And the Insta 360 Link is probably the first webcam that I found in a very long time that comes anywhere near to being a good quality webcam. Now, it's not a like-for-like replacement of something like a DSLR, as I just don't think there's ever going to be anything unless you get something, of course, the same size as a mirrorless camera like maybe the Sony ZV-1. But the quality and features of this thing are pretty incredible. The camera itself is mounted on this tiny little gimbal, much like one actually of one of these DJI drones, which is pretty much as stable as an owl's head. And the gimbal means that this webcam can do what most other webcams can't do. It can track your face and keep you zoomed in to keep just, say, the top part of your body in shot. There are stickers also which you can attach to a whiteboard or any surface really that you might want to draw on, and a simple hand gesture will instantly make the camera focus on that, as long as it can find you in the room, of course. And it just looks good quality. I'm not quite sure why it's taken us until 2022 to get a decent webcam that doesn't absolutely suck. And so even at £318, if you are constantly on video calls like all day, then this one will give you a massive step up in video quality. In at £345 now, surprisingly, are the Airpod Pro Maxes. Now, I'm not sure why, but on Amazon, they are currently the cheapest they've ever been, as long as you buy them in the space grey colour, since the other colours are pretty much all still $549, which is weird, because I kind of thought grey was still a very in colour. If you are in the Apple ecosystem, then I don't feel that these are overpriced at £345. Now, at $549, there has to be, you know, a good reason to want these over some perhaps more affordable and actually arguably better options. But they've got good audio quality, the controls are easy, and the instant pairing and switching between devices works really well. As long as you can deal with their stupid decision to not have an off switch, because you're supposed to put them in this purse thing to put them into low power mode, which nobody does, and definitely I don't, and use Lightning instead of USB-C, then for £345 in my books, they are still a pretty good buy. At £499 is another one by Insta360, and this is the One RS. Now, you might have seen in a few recent videos we've had some footage of me at some very strange angles, and that is all down to this beautiful piece of kit, the One RS. Now, this thing is basically a Lego camera. You have the battery, you have the screen, and interchangeable lenses. I've got either a 4K lens, which basically turns this into an action camera that rivals the GoPro, or a 360-degree lens, which actually, for me, always stays on this camera. Now, you can use it to capture some of the most interesting angles that you can find. And with the somewhat magic ability, you can use a selfie stick, either a short one, which is this, or an insanely long one. And the Insta360 software will actually remove the selfie stick to make it look like the camera is just floating in midair. It's really crazy. You can use the app, of course, to track certain things or manually keyframe in certain angles, or even transition from zooming right in through to this tiny world effect from above. And a really simple feature that I really like is that I can just hit the record button, even when the camera's off, and it wakes the camera up and it starts recording. I'm not sure if the latest versions of the GoPros have this or not, but it was never as quick as this to start shooting a video. Now, the One RS is quite a unique gift for someone if they're into their cameras or their action. And actually, that's another thing that's been a huge bonus for me when comparing this to a GoPro, for example. Because of the changeable lenses, either the 4K or the 360 lens, I actually use this camera. I literally have 2 GoPros sat in my drawer that I never ever use because I see the marketing, I go, wow, they're really, really cool, I need one of those. Then I go and buy one. And then I realised I don't ever do any extreme sports or scuba diving or snowboarding, so it just goes in the drawer. I mean, this one's going yellow, I've had it so long, and it just never gets used again. But that is not the case with the One RS, and it's one I genuinely use all the time. So it's another great buy for either yourself or as a gift. What I initially didn't think was a good buy though was the Apple Watch Ultra at a whopping £849. I mean, my first actual car was cheaper than this watch. It has been marketed at the adventurers, the thrill seekers, the rock climbers and scuba divers, but apparently for everyday people as well. Now, I completely ignored this watch when it came out. I just thought, it's a waste of money, you know, almost £900 for a watch, and an Apple Watch at that, that's going to be old in a year when the Ultra 2 comes out. Ludicrous. But recently, I did bite the bullet and I bought one, and I'm very quickly coming round to why these are so good. I wore this watch for a whole day, leaving my phone at home, and the battery lasted all frickin' day. That is not something you can do with a regular Apple Watch. Every time I've tried it, it always dies by lunchtime. The additional activity button works well, the watch band feels really, really comfortable. I love the new watch face on the top here with the ability to find your parked car or use waypoints to find your way back. It is probably what the regular Apple Watch should be. That's like Apple being Apple for you, I guess. But if you can stretch this much for a gift, it is a pretty good one, providing the recipient of this very pricey watch is already, of course, in the Apple ecosystem. Stepping up again in the cost department, now let's talk VR, and specifically the Meta Quest Pro. Now, this kind of AR VR headset enables you to merge reality with virtual reality with games and like productivity tools. Games on this perform so much better on the Pro than on the regular Quest 2. And the new controllers with the additional cameras for tracking mean that now there are no more issues tracking with, or rather losing tracking when you put your hand down by your side to like reloading some of the shooting games. One area that it's solid at is when you hook up this to a gaming PC, where games like Half-Life Alyx really get their chance to shine. Like the incredible graphics, the fantastic story, and using the Meta Quest headphones, which I've just added recently on here as well, also really immerse you fully into the games. Now, at £1,500, it is still a very, very expensive VR headset, especially when the Quest 3 is perhaps around the corner. But I saw this as an alternative, spending £2,500 on a large monitor for my computer. But instead, why not buy the Quest Pro and have as many virtual screens to work on as you want? Like, you can set up your own office in the virtual space, and I have to say that I am super excited about testing that out. One thing I would say though is don't order the Quest Pro from Meta directly. Like, the courier they used here in the UK managed to lose my headset, even though they magically delivered all the accessories in the same order, and Meta support seems to want absolutely nothing to do with giving me a refund, even though the courier has confirmed and I've already shown them the proof that they've lost it. Like, Meta, of all people that can't track things. So my advice is, if you buy one, make Jeff even more wealthy, where at least he'll send you a replacement the following day if they screw up. Like, I'm sorry, but there's a reason why people keep using Amazon, even though they may be, like, morally might not want to. What's not insanely expensive though is our sponsor for today's video, AVG. AVG offers protection for Macs and PCs across both business and personal computers. I actually remember using AVG Internet Security way back in like the 90s on my dad's computer. So they have decades of experience with a product that's always been excellent at blocking bad things from getting onto your machine. To get up to 60% off for the first year, click on the link down below and check out their multi-award-winning security and features, such as enhanced anti-ransomware, additional protection on accessing your webcam, to a firewall that blocks anything suspicious, and with their 4.3-star rating on Trustpilot, you can be sure that you're in safe hands. Thank you, AVG, for sponsoring a small creator such as myself. Links and any discounts will be down below. Whilst you're there, comment with the gift you're most interested in, and then maybe send this video to your girlfriend or your boyfriend with some useful suggestions for Christmas and see what happens. If you are into your Apple stuff, then watch this. Otherwise, watch this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.